Have you ever wondered what happens when a country faces an overwhelming wave of migration? How do economies, societies, and political landscapes change under the strain of massive influxes? In today's video, we're diving deep into the top 10 countries that have been significantly challenged by large-scale migration. 1. Greece, struggling with refugee influx. Greece has found itself at the epicenter of the European migration crisis, particularly since the outbreak of the Syrian civil war and conflicts in the Middle East. As one of the closest entry points to Europe, Greece has seen a massive influx of refugees and migrants arriving by sea, often in dangerous and overcrowded boats. The situation has been particularly acute on its Aegean islands like Lesbos, where the local infrastructure is woefully inadequate to handle the number of arrivals. Refugee camps, originally designed for temporary stays, have become overcrowded and under-resourced, leading to dire living conditions. 2. Italy, overwhelmed by Mediterranean crossings. Italy has been a critical gateway for migrants attempting to reach Europe from North Africa, with thousands making the perilous journey across the Mediterranean Sea each year. The country's southern shores, particularly the island of Lampedusa and regions like Sicily, have become landing points for these migrants, many of whom are fleeing war, persecution, and poverty. The sheer number of arrivals has overwhelmed Italy's reception facilities, leading to overcrowded detention centers and a stretched national infrastructure. The government has had to divert significant resources to manage the situation, from rescue operations at sea to providing food, shelter, and medical care for the new arrivals. This has placed considerable strain on Italy's economy, particularly in the context of the broader European economic challenges and Italy's own fiscal struggles. 3. Germany, the challenges of integration. Germany's decision to welcome over 1 million refugees during the peak of the Syrian civil war was seen as a bold humanitarian gesture, but it has also presented significant challenges for the country. The scale of the migration influx tested Germany's capacity to provide housing, education, and healthcare to the new arrivals, many of whom came with little more than the clothes on their backs. Integrating such a large number of people into German society, particularly in terms of language acquisition and employment, has proven to be a complex and ongoing process. While many refugees have been successfully integrated, others have struggled to find their place, leading to issues such as unemployment, social isolation, and in some cases, involvement in criminal activities. These challenges have been particularly pronounced in certain urban areas, where the concentration of migrants is high. 4. Lebanon, a small country with a big burden. Lebanon, a small country with a population of around 6 million, has found itself hosting over 1 million Syrian refugees, making it one of the highest per capita host countries for refugees in the world. This massive influx has put immense pressure on Lebanon's already fragile economy and infrastructure. The country, which was already grappling with economic challenges and political instability before the Syrian crisis, has seen these issues exacerbated by the sudden increase in population. The refugee presence has strained public services, including healthcare, education, and housing, leading to increased competition for these resources among both refugees and Lebanese citizens. The informal settlements where many refugees live are often overcrowded and lack basic amenities, creating a humanitarian crisis that the Lebanese government, with limited resources, has struggled to address. 5. Turkey, a crossroads for migrants. Turkey has become a major hub for migrants and refugees, particularly from Syria, due to its geographical location at the crossroads of Europe and Asia. The country hosts over 3.6 million Syrian refugees, the largest number of any country in the world, in addition to migrants from other conflict zones like Afghanistan and Iraq. While Turkey has been praised for its initial response to the crisis, including the establishment of refugee camps and the provision of humanitarian aid, the prolonged nature of the conflict has turned what was initially seen as a temporary situation into a long-term challenge. The economic impact has been significant, with Turkey shouldering the cost of providing for millions of refugees, which has strained public services and the economy, particularly in border regions. If you are enjoying, make sure to subscribe to our channel and give this video a thumbs up. 6. Sweden, a balancing act of generosity and integration. Sweden has long been known for its generous immigration policies, welcoming refugees from around the world and providing them with extensive social support. However, the large influx of migrants in recent years, particularly during the 2015 European migration crisis, has tested the country's capacity for integration. The challenges have been multifaceted, ranging from housing shortages to the strain on the education system, as schools struggle to accommodate a sudden increase in non-Swedish-speaking students. Additionally, the job market has not always been able to absorb the influx of new workers, particularly those with limited skills or language proficiency, leading to higher unemployment rates among migrants. 7. The United States. Debates over border control and asylum. The United States has a long history as a destination for migrants seeking a better life. But in recent years, the issue of immigration has become increasingly contentious. The southern border, in particular, has been a focal point of debates over border control, with thousands of migrants, many from Central America, attempting to cross into the U.S. each year. The influx has overwhelmed the U.S. immigration system, leading to overcrowded detention facilities, lengthy asylum processes, and challenges in managing the sheer number of arrivals. The situation has sparked intense political debates, with differing views on how to balance border security with the rights of asylum seekers and the country's long-standing tradition of welcoming immigrants. These debates have also had significant social and political implications. The polarized nature of U.S. politics has made immigration a divisive issue, with some advocating for stricter border controls and others. 8. France. Tensions in urban areas. France has a long history of immigration, but the recent years have seen significant challenges in managing the integration of migrants, particularly in urban areas where economic disparities and social tensions are most pronounced. The influx of migrants, many from former French colonies in Africa and the Middle East, has contributed to the growth of ethnically diverse neighborhoods in cities like Paris, Marseille, and Lyon. However, these areas have often been characterized by high levels of unemployment, poor housing conditions, and strained public services, leading to a sense of marginalization among residents. The lack of adequate integration policies has exacerbated these issues, creating an environment where social unrest can easily take root. 9. Australia. Controversial offshore detention policies. Australia's approach to managing migration, particularly asylum seekers, has been marked by its controversial offshore detention policies. Under these policies, asylum seekers attempting to reach Australia by boat are intercepted and sent to detention centers on remote Pacific islands, such as Nauru and Manus Island in Papua New Guinea. While these measures have been successful in significantly reducing the number of boat arrivals, they have also drawn widespread criticism from human rights organizations and the international community. The conditions in these offshore detention centers have been condemned as inhumane, with reports of overcrowding, inadequate medical care, and instances of abuse. 10. South Africa. Xenophobic violence and economic strain. South Africa has experienced significant migration from other African countries, driven by factors such as political instability, economic hardship, and conflict in neighboring states. This influx of migrants has added to the existing challenges facing South Africa, including high unemployment, economic inequality, and social tensions. Many migrants settle in urban areas where competition for jobs, housing, and resources is fierce. The situation has led to outbreaks of xenophobic violence, with local communities expressing frustration and anger towards migrants, whom they blame for taking jobs and straining public services. These incidents have resulted in loss of life, property damage, and a tarnishing of South Africa's image as a country of refuge and opportunity. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more in-depth explorations of global issues. Drop a comment below with your thoughts on today's topic. How do you think countries can better manage the impact of migration?